in. We start in less than 1 minute. See if it's going to be going live here. Can I record this? Let's record it. No, I can't. There we go. Perfect. Good. So you can take a look at that. Welcome, everybody, to the free goal setting workshop sponsored by Emdem, Life, Arkitex, and SkyMed. Thank you very much to those corporations for helping us get along with this goal setting workshop. So if you're new to goal setting, if you've never set any goals before, I apologize for that little bit of technology at the beginning there, but that's part of how this works. If you've never set any goals before, which I'm sure you probably have, most people have set some goals, but have you written them down? Have you taken action on them? Have you put them into your journal and every day made sure that your actions were in alignment with your goals? That's what we're going to do here today. So we've got an agenda. We've got 60 minutes, so we don't have a lot of time. This is all the stuff that we're going to be doing today should be done in like a long period of time over like days or 5 or 7 days. And each one of these topics you can do a full day or a full week on. But we're going to jam pack it into just 60 minutes. So we're going to go pretty quick. Any questions you can put on the comments in the Facebook chat. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube right now as we speak. So put them in the chat and I'll get to those later. If you have any questions, you can email me where it says down here on the ticker, mdm.canada.group@gmail.com. And if you have not received any of the bonuses that you were supposed to get when you registered, make sure you email me for that as well. mdm.canada.group@gmail.com, and we'll make sure you get those free bonuses as well, because those are very important. So a little bit about me. We're going to go spend 5 minutes, an intro about me. So what makes me qualified to put on a goal setting workshop? What makes me well, I'm not qualified. I don't believe I'm qualified to do anything. That's up to you. So when we go through this, you can go through and go through and go through and go through till the cows come home, but it's a lifestyle switch. It's a lifestyle change. I've been setting goals for myself since I was a young boy, since I was a kid. So through beginning in elementary school, and I didn't even know I was doing it. But you have to get this stuff done. I didn't necessarily write stuff down. I just knew what I had to do in my head. I had to go do my paper route when I was 8, 9 years old. I knew how many papers I had to have. I know which houses had to get the papers. And I knew that I couldn't walk on the grass, and I had to get all that stuff done in a certain period of time. So that's kind of just like goal setting, what we're going to do here. I was goal setting. Then I had my sports to get to. I had to make sure that I knew my position. I was setting goals in my head with my team and my coaches and my parents. But we didn't sit down. This is why this is going to be so helpful. We didn't sit down and write it all out. We didn't sit down and write it all out and consciously put it into our minds. I just did it. And we can get to the point where you can just do it, but it's good to write it down. Grab the pen, grab the paper, make sure you got a journal. So I was doing this unknowingly in elementary school, and then in high school. You level up when you get to high school, and then when you get to university, you level up when you get to university. So you have to make sure that you're looking after your schoolwork, then your chores at home, then your social life, then your sporting life, or it could be your arts and your crafts or your music or whatever it is that you do. If you have a day that's written out that you know exactly what you're supposed to do, it's going to be so much easier for you. So I was doing this in elementary school, in high school, in university, out of university. When I'm done university, I've achieved a lot in my life, and I want to bring that knowledge to you. It's time for me to give back to you. Give back to people who may not even know this exists, because I didn't even know that. No one said, Mike, I'm going to take you aside. I'm going to show you this. And if you do this on a daily basis and incorporate these things into your daily lifestyle, you can turn yourself into an amazing human being and you can live an amazing life. No one sat me down and did that for me, so I'm going to do that for you. I'm doing that, and that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this, so I can help you out, give you some extra help, some extra assistance to speed the process up for you, because I had no idea, but I was doing this back all at the early age and I didn't even know I was doing it. So I'm going to help you do it now. If you've never heard of this before, I'm going to help you do it now. I'm Coach Mike, MDM, Mike Moore, Mickey, whatever you want to call me. I'm going to help you out. As a good friend, I feel that I must give back to you to help you out in all the major areas of life. You're doing this stuff, whether you even know it or not anyway, but you can do it intentionally and you can design your life exactly the way that you have want it. I again unknowingly have designed my life. I've done everything I've wanted to do in my life. So I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna coach you how you can do all the things in your life that you've always wanted to do. Now it's time to level up, go a little higher, go a little deeper, go a little better, make things how you want them to be. If you're not liking your life right now, we're going to show you how to get out of those toxic relationships, toxic environments, places that are not serving you or encouraging you. We're going to show you how to do that. So I'm from Canada. I was born and raised in Regina, Saskatchewan. Lived in Saskatoon for about 10 years, went back to Regina, went to elementary school in Regina, went to high school in Regina, went to university in Regina, then I moved to Alberta, lived in Okotoks for quite a while, and then moved out to Redwood Meadows, Bray Creek area, lived in my dream home. I did everything I really wanted to do. I lived in my dream home on a golf course by the mountains. So I thought I married the woman of my dreams. We had a boy. She had one from a previous marriage. So I thought I was living my dream life, and I had everything that I wanted. Then it all came crashing down because it wasn't built on a rock solid foundation. So we're going to show you how to build it on the rock solid foundation as well. I'm a Hall of Famer for sports and football, been inducted into the Hall of Fame 3 times. I've ran for government and municipal elections. I've done that 3 or 4 times. I was on I was on one for a little while, but they didn't like my outspoken nature, so they tried to boot me out of there, which is probably good. I've run numerous businesses. I've been a commercial banker. I've worked for the city of Calgary for 12 years. I've gotten cancer in 2017, thought I was going to die. And I'm still here, so I made it. So I beat that. And yeah, I've done a lot of different things in my life. I've done all these things that I'm going to be talking about on just a normal level. I'm not a billionaire or multi-millionaire like a lot of the people that do these things, not at all. I have developed a good amount of wealth in the different areas of my life. So I'm just like you. I'm just a normal guy. I'm a male. I'm just a normal guy, but this is for males and females, or whatever else you want to call yourself, a transgender, but this is for all human beings, no matter what you want to call yourself. But I believe that there's only male and female. Anything else, there's something else going on up here that needs to be corrected. So a little bit about myself to where I am now. I feel that I need to help people. I've been helping people my whole life. That's kind of in my nature, to help people, to improve things, to make things better. I've done that everywhere I've gone. So that's the concept behind this, to help people, particularly athletes, to improve their lives, and beginning with the end result in mind. When you begin with the end result in mind, it's intentional. So you want to have it right here, but you're right here. So you're going to do the things right here to get you to where you need to get to here. We're going to show you how to do that. You got to know where you are and where you're going. And that's where goal setting kind of draws the map to get you to that place you want to be. But then when you reach your goals, you got to make sure that you set up a whole bunch of new ones right away, because then you'll backtrack. You have to keep setting new goals in the areas that are most important to you. What do we got for time? So now we're going to get into what is goal setting. What is goal setting? So goal setting essentially is choosing an end result So the easiest one is, again, always weight loss. So let's say you want to lose 10 pounds. Let's say you weigh 200 pounds right now. You want to lose 10 pounds. You want to weigh 190 pounds. So your end result is you want to weigh 190 pounds. And right now you weigh 200 pounds. So then you have to pick a bunch of action items that you must do on a daily basis, a regular basis, a consistent basis, a persistent basis. And then with a timeline attached to that goal. So you want to lose 10 pounds. The date today is December 16th. By December 31st, and it's got to be somewhat realistic. It can't be, I want to lose 100 pounds in 2 weeks or a month. That's not going to happen. You got to be somewhat realistic with it. So you write down your goal. Your goal weight is whatever that may be for you. Could be 150 pounds, could be 140 pounds, could be whatever it is for you. You write down your goal weight. I want to weigh X amount. And then you write down by which date. And it's got to be something that you can actually do. Like I said, you can't lose 100 pounds in a month. That's not going to happen. So a realistic amount that you can lose. And then you have to write down all your action items that are associated with your goal. And you got to implement that into your schedule, your 24-hour, 7-day-a-week schedule. And that's where you change your habits by making different choices. Again, that's how you set a goal. You write it down, you get your paper, you get your pen, you get a journal. Ideally, you have a journal and you write these down. No matter what and we're going to go through, as it says here, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, relationally, financially, and big dream goals after that. So if you write these down, it helps. Again, you might not have all the time in this workshop. Take notes as much as you can. This is going to be, again, restreamed on Facebook and YouTube, so you'll get to see it again. You'll get to see it again. If you want to have any questions, you can email me or message me, whatever you want to have questions on, I can answer them for you. And that's the gist of how goal setting works. And why are you setting these goals? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to get stronger? Why do you want to have better nutrition? Well, maybe you want to have more energy to spend with your kids. Maybe you want to have a longer life. Maybe you want to be able to do a whole bunch of activities that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do if you were fat and out of shape and lazy and couldn't move and your back hurt and your neck hurt and all that kind of stuff. You have to have a good why attached to the goal that you are setting for yourself. And if you don't have a good why attached to it, you're probably not going to do it on a regular basis. You got to pick a lifestyle change. And again, so number one, goal setting. What is it? It's an end result that you want to achieve, an end result, no matter what it's going to be. It's got to be specific. They say there's SMART goals. It's got to be specific. It's got to be measurable. It's got to be achievable. It's got to be realistic, and it's got to be timely. It's got to have a timeline attached to it. Again, SMART is specific. M is measurable. A is achievable or attainable. R, it's realistic. And T, it's got a timeline attached to it. So it's got to have all those things. It's got to have all those elements. But then when we get to the dumb goals, those are the ones where God has to come into play to fit in, where miracles have to come into play. Where it's like, how did I even do this? How are we for time? We're again, we're going to stick to 60 minutes here. So we're going to go on to the mental goals here. So what do I talk about when we're talking about, how can we talk about mental goals? How does that even factor in on the radar when we're talking about mental goals? Well, I talk about mental programming quite a bit. Mental programming. Your brain, I believe, is your central processing unit with a computer technology. Even though our brains are actually human, they're not computerized quite yet, but they're trying to put computers in our brains, which is a I don't agree with that one, but we're not going to get into that. So if we're going to use the analogy of a computer, our brain is our central processing unit. Just like this computer here has a whole bunch of programs in it that you can recall and click on and get the information. The brain's got the same thing, probably even better, because we thought up the computer. So that's the brain, is the central processing unit. So the programs that you are running in your brain, how do you get programmed? You get programmed when you're still in the womb. Some of it's biology, when it's in your womb, by your parents, by your environments, by what you're watching on television, by what you hear, by what you see from your five senses. That's how you get programmed. What you see from your sight, your five senses, what you hear with your ears, what you smell with your nose, what you taste, what you touch, what you feel, and your intuition, that all gets programmed into your conscious and subconscious. So you have to be aware of what you're thinking. If you're aware of what you're thinking, but how do you become aware of what you're thinking? You have to slow that process down. You have to slow your mind down to be aware of yourself. And when you're aware of yourself, you're aware of what your thoughts are and what your thoughts are bringing into your physical environment. So mental goals. What are some mental goals? So you can write all the things down that you're exposing yourself to, like, again, television. What does your room look like? What does your house look like? What does your work environment look like? What type of people do you hang around on a regular basis? What are you scrolling through on your social media accounts? What catches your attention? This all gets programmed. So you'll probably have to deprogram that. You'll have to take all that out and reprogram. So whatever mind program you have, I like to call it brainwashing. People think brainwashing is bad, but I think it's actually good, because you have to clean it out. You have to clean all the garbage out of your brain that you've been programmed. And the mental, that's why we're starting on mental, because this starts your whole action process. So whatever you think, you take action on without even knowing it sometimes. That's your subconscious related to your conscious. Because it's like what you eat, what you put in your mouth, do you exercise, what TV do you watch, what programs do you watch, how do you spend your money, who do you hang out with, what you do on a daily basis, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It all has to do with the way you think. Your self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? Do you cut yourself down? Do you encourage yourself? Do you have a positive mental attitude? Or are you a negative? Do you always look for the negative things in everything? So you have to write all this stuff down. Again, it's going to be hard to do in this little segment of the workshop, but you have to say, okay, TV, I gotta watch good TV or no TV. Or if you watch YouTube videos, watch YouTube instead of the crap that you're watching. Watch something that's actually going to be beneficial for you, that's going to help you succeed, that's going to help you with your personal development, that's going to help you grow as a human being. So what you're watching and what you're hearing from your eyes, these are your five senses that God gave you, your eyes. What you're watching gets programmed into your brain, and then that becomes your external reality out here, plus inside your brain, which becomes your reality. Whether you believe it's reality in actuality, what you're thinking is your reality, whether you believe it's your reality in actuality. And then that creates your physical reality outside, because that's the environments that you hang yourself in, or hang out in. Hang yourself in, I don't want to use that, but yeah, you could be hanging yourself. If you're hanging in the wrong environments, you want to get yourself out of those environments. So your mental goals should be to read good books, watch good audio programs. Don't watch as much TV. If you're going to watch TV, make sure it's educational TV. That's going to actually make you more smarter. That's going to make you more intellectually better. That's going to improve you. Going to improve the people around you. Don't watch junk. It's just like the food. You can put junk in your mind, or you can put junk in your mouth. Make sure you get high quality nutrition in your brain. The books you read, the people you hang out with, the voices you hear from other people, the gossip and all that. Yeah, that all contributes to your mind, your mindset. So you got to be aware of all of those things. And then you write down, I'm going to read 5 minutes a day. A good personal development book. Think and Grow Rich is a good one. The Bible's a good one. There's a whole bunch of books from a whole bunch of different authors. Again, if you need a book or you need some audios or some videos, email me. Emails on the ticker down here. Write that email down. Email me whenever you need, and I'll help you out with different mind program. Then you need virus protection. You need virus protection, so you got to be in control of your mind. Is somebody else in control of your mind, or are you in control of your mind? We have to get you to a point where you are in control of your thoughts and your opinions, and what you speak is really who you are. It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what your parents think. It doesn't matter what your coaches think. It doesn't matter what your teachers think. It doesn't matter what your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife or kids think. It's what you think and what God thinks. Those are the two people that you really need to impress, is yourself and God. Anybody else, it doesn't really matter. I know that could be harsh, but the two people, God first and then yourself. And then that will get you to where you need to go with how you're going to think and how you're going to speak. So you need to be able to, again, read good books. Leaders are readers. Watch good videos, good television that's going to actually program your mind with good stuff. Listen to good audios. Eat good food. And be around, take care of yourself. And then that'll program you properly, deprogram, and put virus protection in there. So that's what you're going to want to do to look after your emotional, your mental capacity, because this is if you get this one wrong, if you get the mental wrong, everything else is not going to be going good, because you're going to have a bad attitude. You're going to complain, you're going to whine, you'll moan, you'll bitch, you'll look for everything that's wrong. If you have to program, if your mind is not programmed correctly, everything else kind of goes out the window. So your mind must be programmed correctly. It's got to be programmed. That's very, very, very important. If your mind's not programmed correctly, everything else is going to be out of whack. So again, if you have any questions, shoot me an email and I'll help you out with that. Now we're going to go to emotions. The emotions are attached to the mind. And what kind of emotions do we have? What kind of emotions do we have? We have positive emotions and we have negative emotions. Both of these are here to serve us, but we enjoy the positive emotions. We don't like those negative emotions on a regular basis. Positive emotions, negative emotions. So write down, we don't have time to do this now, but you can write this down. Positive emotions and negative emotions, split them in half, and then write down as many positive emotions as you can think of, and then write down as many negative emotions as you can think of. What are some examples of positive? Happy, joyful, abundant, prosperous, peaceful, lovely. Those are some positive emotions. Love, those are good emotions. And then negative ones could be fear or anger or helplessness, anxiety, stress. Those could be negative. But the negative emotions are there to serve you, just as the positive emotions are there to serve you and reward you. They both serve a purpose for you. You just can't have positive emotions all the time, even though that's where you want to be the majority of the time. You want to be living in the positive mental attitude section of your life. And then when negative emotions come up, those are warning signals for you. When you have negative emotions, that's like your security system to show that something isn't necessarily the way it's supposed to be. They're here to serve you. They're here to help you. Why are you angry? Why are you fearful? Why are you depressed? Why are you in anxiety? You got to dig down deeper, and that's where the triggers are down the middle. So you got the triggers. What's a trigger? I don't have a gun. A trigger. So what makes you feel angry? What makes you feel happy? What makes you feel depressed? So that's state. So when you put yourself in a good state, if you're in a happy state, you're gonna see there could be a smile on your face. If you're in a depressed state, you're gonna be So your energy levels. with your mental capacity, your emotional, your energy levels. If you're like this, you got to be in a state with your chest up, your chin up, sitting good, having good posture with your tight core. That shows that you're ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go. How you talk to yourself. I'm going to encourage myself. We're going to go. We're going to get it. We're going to move it. Let's go. Let's do it. Is a little bit better than, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do today. Maybe we'll just kind of go and see what happens. I don't know. So there's two different ways to act. So you can see full of energy. Let's go do this. Let's get it done. Let's win. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get our goals set. Let's write them down. Let's make sure we have an action plan and we have a result that we're going to achieve. And then when we get that done, we're going to celebrate for a while, and then we're going to set some new ones. So that's energy. That's state. When you're in a good state, when you have good energy and you're spoken up and you're like, your body language is very important. Hopefully I don't miss any of this stuff, but I will miss some stuff because we don't have much time. Body language is important. So you can tell someone that has energy, someone that looks like they have good, positive energy. They're vibrant. They're glowing. I had a guy tell me the other day, you look like you work out. It's like, why do I look like I work out? Because look at someone that doesn't. If you look at someone that doesn't work out, and you look at someone that doesn't work out, you can just tell by looking at them that you must work out. This person probably hasn't lifted a weight in his or her entire life. They probably just sit on the couch and do nothing and complain and whine and moan. You can tell. It doesn't take long to figure out the thought process and the habits of an individual just by having a 30-second or 1 minute, or just by looking at them, what type of person they usually are. Some people will put on a mask or they'll lie to themselves and all this kind of stuff. When you talk about it, you can't lie to yourself. You have to we're truth and spirit. You can only lie to yourself for so long and lie to others for so long. Why do most people lie to themselves? Why do most people? Because they want to cover up, because they're doing the wrong things and they're embarrassed. They don't want people to know about it, but it doesn't matter. Who's going to be the most embarrassed? Again, remember what I said before, it's between you and it's between God. It's what you think and it's what God thinks. What anybody else thinks doesn't matter. It's what you think about yourself and what God thinks about you. Because you can do whatever you need to do to get done, whatever you need to get done on the time you need to get it done. If you act now, if you do whatever you need to do to get it done, just take some action. You can fail 10 times, fail 100 times, fail 1,000 times. Thomas Edison, I don't know if it's 10,000 times he failed, but he didn't call them failures. He just called them, because he had a good positive mental attitude. He didn't call them failures. He said, I found 10,000 successful ways in which this did not work, which led him to the 10,000th and one way that made it work. So that's where consistency and persistence and that never give up attitude, that you're going to get it done no matter what happens. And the most successful people always do, no matter how many times they failed. They don't let failure stop them. Remember the new adage or the old adage where everybody talks about now, we're not in this for perfection. We're in this for progress. So if you're looking to get everything perfect, to get everything done perfectly, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're looking for moving forward, falling forward. We're looking for progress. Become better today than you were yesterday. Become better today than you were yesterday. It's you versus yourself. You versus yourself. So for your emotions, you have to be aware of your positive emotions and your negative. And then this goes back to the brain. You have to be aware of how you're feeling. So if you're feeling depressed, play some good music. Or just get into a better state and start moving around and getting some energy back in your body. Because if you're feeling depressed, you're saying, I got to get moving. I got to get doing something. I'm just like sitting here like a lump on a log doing absolutely jack squat. I got to get doing something that's going to be productive to make me a better person. So again, write down the positive emotions, write down all the negative emotions, write down as many as you possibly can. And then the triggers, what triggers you to feel positive emotions and what triggers you to feel negative emotions. And then you want to stay on the positive as much as you possibly can. That's where you want to be. And the activities that are associated with creating those positive emotions in you, and you want to stay away, but you can't always stay away from, because they serve you. When you get negative emotions coming into you, that serves you to something that might not necessarily be on track, that will guide you back towards the positive emotions. That is where you want to stay. But those negative emotions are there to help you and serve you. If you're feeling stressed, something in your life isn't right, you're going to have to re-examine what's going on. If you're feeling anxiety, that could be a healthy anxiety. Like before I was doing this, you're going to feel a healthy fear. You're going to feel a healthy anxiety, a healthy stress. When I lift weights, there's healthy stress on my muscles because they have to grow. You have to put yourself out of that box or out of the constant, because you're going to grow. So that'll help you out. So we're again, we're a little bit behind because there's so much material in here that you're going to have to get. And that's where the hook is. I'm trying to hook you in to sign up with me to get coaching, so you can do this, and I can hold you accountable on a weekly basis to make sure that you're programming your mind correctly, watching the right programs, reading the right books to program. Because if your mind's not programmed correctly, everything else goes out the window. If you're not in control of your mind, if you're not in control of your emotions, if someone else is in control of your mind and someone else is in control, then that's got to be like, no, that's got to stop. You got to bring yourself back. You got to bring yourself back together so you can be in control of your mind and you can be in control of your emotions. We'll show you a little bit more on how to. There's so many ways to know how to do that, and we're just kind of scratching the surface with this goal setting workshop right now. So we're going to move on to the spiritual realm, which most people do not know about. The spiritual realm is the unseen realm. People call it religion. Religion. What is religion? Religion, is it a cult, or is it people just trying to get you to do what they want you to do, or have power over you, or control you? Or there's a lot of bad things done in the name of religion. There's a lot of wars fought in the name of religion. There's a lot of money in the name of religion. So no, it's not about religion. It's not. Spirituality is not about religion. It's about the unseen. It's about the unseen realm. So my understanding of it is this. Spirituality, the spirit, you can't see, but you can see the spirit. You can see someone's countenance if they have a good spirit or a bad spirit. If you look, the Bible says if you look into someone's eyes, you can see their soul. You can see through them. You can see inside of who they really are if you look into their eyes of who they are. So it's truth and spirit. So how do we get into the spiritual realm? Well, there's ways. There's prayer. It's a relationship between you and God, the relationship between you and your creator. Everyone calls God a different name, but there's only one. There's only one. And the creator, but you may not believe this, but we're not going to go too deep into it. Like the whole entire creation of everything. Spirituality. Our soul, our spirit. Our spirits, they live on. So do you have a good soul and spirit, or do you have an evil soul or spirit? Or is there an in-between? So prayer, the fruits of the spirit, the Bible says that the fruits of the spirit. So when you have a good spirit, your countenance, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, and self-control. That's the fruits of a good Holy Spirit. That's what will be produced. But an evil spirit, and I know all of you have felt an evil spirit. That's not good. That's anger, that's greed, that's anxiety, that's stress, that's fear, that's violence. All those types of things is not good. So I believe there's two spirits, and one is developed in truth and love, and the other one is in evil and violence and anger and all that, and killing and all that. So make sure that you know which side you're playing on and which side that you want to be here in this life and in the life after. Spirituality, because it's a deep dark hole, or it could be a deep light hole. But if you go when the light gets turned on, because if you're in the dark, you can't see until the light gets turned on. I don't profess to be a highly spiritual individual myself. I have my own spiritual belief, which works well for me. I don't know what works for you. However, spirituality is alive and real. My relationship with God, you have to have if you have a relationship with God, the Bible again says, love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself, the love. So if you love God, you would act in certain ways every day towards other people and yourself. You would treat other people good. You would treat nature good. You would treat yourself good. You would have a clean home. Like everything would run as God would want it to run. That's loving God. Treating the less fortunate well, talking to people, helping people, being kind to people, doing good works here on earth. That's showing love and building a relationship with God in spirit, that you're doing the right things, that you're doing the things and that goes to values and ethics, character, integrity, all those types of things in a good motive and intentional spirit. Because God knows your heart, God knows your spirit. So you can't really get away with anything. You can't get away with having an evil spirit, a greedy spirit, or a resentful spirit, or a manipulative spirit, or any of these things where you're trying to control or use power over somebody. You can't really get away from that in the long run. And that's what the spiritual realm, and that's how it's tied together to your mental, your emotional. There's two sides to each coin. And they're both there you can't have one without the other. They're both there to serve you. They're both there to help you. They're both there to serve you. So the spiritual realm, we'll leave it at that. What are your spiritual goals? You might want to pray on a regular basis. You might want to meditate on a regular basis. Build a relationship with God. You can talk to God wherever you want. You can pray to God wherever you want. You don't have to go to the church. You don't have to go to the synagogue. You don't have to go to the temple. You can pray to God right here, right now. You can pray to God on the deck. You can pray to God in your car riding to work. You can pray to God in the forest. You can pray to God while you're swimming in the pool or in the ocean or at work, wherever you are. It doesn't matter. God's there with you. He wants to help you. God wants to love you. God loves you. He wants you to be considered one of his children. But when you sin and you start doing things that are not in alignment with God and how he wants us to be as human beings, and you get further apart. So the closer you are to God, the more good things you are doing in your life, and the closer you have a relationship with him because you're doing his work here on earth. So the things that are not associated with what God would have you do here on earth, that distances you from God, and then you're like, where is God? Well, you're doing all the things that he doesn't want you. He's still there, but you have to draw him back into your life. You have to, and that's where the whole sinful nature, because we're born in sin. I'm a sinner. We're born in sin. But if you're doing, again, if you take a look at your life mentally and emotionally, and we're in a spiritual realm, and the spiritual realm, it's like you're not in alignment, then it's going to be a little bit difficult for you. And you're going to wonder where God is because you're doing all the wrong things. It's like, but he's still, the beauty of this is you can do all the wrong and still change your life around. You can change your life around whenever you want to change your life around, because God will love you unconditionally. Unlike us as human beings, God will love you no matter what you've done wrong, how many times you've done wrong. If you come to him and reconcile with him and repent of your sins, God will love you, and he will always love you. But if you keep on sinning and sinning and sinning and sinning and sinning and sinning and sinning, and you never want to repent, you never want to change your life, that's what they call hell on earth. And that's what they call hell on earth. That's what they call hell in eternity. And we don't want you there. We don't want you doing any of that. So that's enough about the spiritual realm. If you have any more questions, I'd be happy to ask. I'd be happy to answer them again. Emails down here in the ticker. We got about 20 minutes left. Now we're going on to the physical realm. The physical realm. What is the physical realm? It's the flesh. So it's like this is the physical body. This is our physical body here. Whew. We don't even get a break. So our body, our physical health, our physical well-being. So our eyesight, our hearing, our teeth, our taste, our tongue, our hands, elbows, chest, our whole body. Everything, our physical well-being. So you must have good self-care over yourself. Good self-care. Again, goals. We'll go back to spirituality. What are some goals? Number one, write down. I want to have a good connection with God by praying every day. Pray with God every day. Pray with God. Is it specific? Yes. Prayer. Is it measurable? Yes. You can write down, I'm going to pray for 5 minutes. Is it achievable? Yes, you can do that. And that's just building that relationship with God. Physical. Now, sorry, we're going back to physical here now. We're going to the physical. So our body, people associate, I'm too fat, I don't look good. So God gave you the body that you got. So you have to accept the body that you have, but you can change it. You can change your body, but you can do it naturally. There's so many different things you can do to change your body naturally that will help you out. Again, if it starts up here with your mindset, you have to believe that you can change your body. You can totally change your body. There's research studies done that the cells of your body rejuvenate themselves. I don't know, over and over and over again. I don't know the timeline on that, but you can change yourself. And it has to do with, yes, exercising, eating healthier, eating better food, what you put in your mouth, weight training, lifting weights, stretching, all these different types of things, strengthening all parts of your body, strengthening your mind. You can massage. I just went for a couple massages. It feels so good looking after your body. And then your nutrition. It's as simple as fruits, vegetables, lean meats, done. Fruits, vegetables, lean meats, done. That's it. And there's, because you can complicate it by getting in the combinations and then fasting and intermittent fasting. There's all these different things. So you have to become self-aware of the body. That's for the mental, to the emotional, to the spiritual, is bringing you to the physical now. The mental, emotional, and spiritual states will be brought out in the physical realm. So those first three are very, very, very important. Your mental state, your emotional state comes from up here, and your spiritual state, which is unseen, comes out in your physical state. So make sure that you are writing goals, write goals down for your body. You want to weigh we talked about this, you want to weigh a specific weight, write that down. Write down all the actions that are associated with you getting to that weight. Write all those down. Write your timeline down. So you'll have to go to the gym. You have to know where you are right now. Don't think if you've never lifted a weight before, if you've done zero exercise, you have to start where you're at. You have to know where you're at. Say, I'm fat, I'm out of shape, I can't even move. So start where you're at right now, and then just start moving. Start doing a little bit. Start moving and doing something. Start replacing. If you're eating chips and candy bars and Coke all the time, start replacing the Coke with water, the candy bar, apple, chips, maybe a salad or chicken or something that's going to be better for you. So it's all right and wrong. There's two sides to everything, two sides. So there's junk food, there's healthy food, junk food, healthy food, food that's good for you and not good for you. And then you can dive down deep into a weight training program. So what exercises you're I don't know where you just have to start. You just have, I've never done that before. I feel bad. It's like, I'm too fat. It's like, it doesn't matter. You just have to start where you're at. Because if you never start, no progress is ever going to get made. You're going to go backwards. You're going to keep going backwards, and then you're going to keep going backwards. We want to make progress. We want you to make progress. Set some goals within the goals. Set some goals within the goals. Again, if I'm here to help you, but this is just giving you the ideas of the goal setting within each major area of your, and then there's goals within goals, there's branches within branches, and it's just like a tree. You got the big trunk, that's your rock solid foundations, that big trunk with the roots into the ground. It started from a seed. I'm getting off topic here, but it started with just a little seed. And then the roots go underground, that's where you're rooted, and then the trunk comes up, and then the branches go all the different ways. So your physical state, you want to be drinking water. First thing in the morning, drink a glass of water. Just before you go to bed, drink a glass of water. 2 things you can do right there. Go to get some exercise 3 days a week. Weight training is very important to get muscle into your body. When people get older, their muscle goes away, but you can still, there's a lot of people out there that are still muscular when they're old, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. People have done it. If people can do it, you can do it. If someone has done it, you can do it. Anybody can do it, but you got to do the things that are associated with it, and you have to have the right mindset to be able to do it. If you don't have the right mindset, if you're not in control of your emotions, if you're not in control of your spirit, then you're not going to be in control of your body. And so this is about you getting control of your life and designing it the way you want to have it, not having somebody else design your life for you. Why on earth would you want to have somebody else design your life for you? It's your life. Design it how you want, and make sure that it's a life that's going to be of contribution. Make sure it's a life that's going to be fulfilling for you and the people around you and the community. And this is how people grow better individually as a human being, and then that grows into their family, then that grows into their community, and that grows into their city, their town, their province, their state, and their country. So if everybody did this, if everybody took personal responsibility of themselves in all these areas of life, can you imagine? That's how you change the world, one person at a time. So write goals with your physical body, with your nutrition, what you're going to eat, what you're going to replace good for bad. Exercise, you're going to go to a gym, you're going to get a fitness club if you can't afford that. Just there's lots of free stuff on the internet if you can do. Again, email me, I can send you whatever you need. If you want to hire me, we can make plans and sit down and really dive down deep into all this stuff. You can have access to me. I like to say 24/7, but I need to sleep, so I can't really talk to you in my sleep during business hours that are from 8 in the morning till, let's say, 6 o'clock at night. So you have and then even after, if I'm still up, I'll probably answer. So you get access to me for life. Hello. Who wouldn't want that? Hello. So we got 13 minutes. Let's move on to relationships. I don't know how we're going to get through. So relationships. How many relationships do you have? Well, we talked about one relationship in the spiritual realm, and that was with God and yourself. So do you have a good relationship with yourself? Do you have a good relationship with God? Those are two of the most important relationships you'll ever have right now is a relationship with God and a relationship you'll have with yourself. So so you have to love God, love yourself, and love other people. Love everybody else that you come. You have to look at them with eyes of love, that you care for them. You're not in competition with them. You care for them because they're another human being. So again, relationships is another huge tree that we can't discuss here, but love is the number one in relationships. You have to love one another. And first of all, love. When you love yourself and you love God, you're going to do the things mentally that are going to be good. You're going to do the things emotionally that are going to be good. You're going to do the things spiritually that are going to be good. You're going to do the things physically that are going to be good. And then if you have a good relationship and you love yourself, you're not going to fill your body with poison. You're not going to sit there and do nothing. You're going to be contributing to a better world for you, for other generations, and for time to come, forever. You're here. Wow. And this goes to purpose. So relationships. I don't want to get off topic. Relationships with yourself, with God, with your husband, with your wife, with your kids, with your coworkers, with your teammates, with strangers, with other human beings. How do I set goals on relationships? Well, maybe you need to make a phone call. Maybe you need to talk to somebody. Maybe you need to tell somebody something. Maybe you need to reconcile something. Maybe you need to do something with somebody, with your husband, with your wife. Maybe you need to set up a date. Maybe you need to tell somebody you love them. Maybe you need to make a phone call to somebody that you haven't talked to in a while to say, I'm still thinking about you and I love you and I care about you. Relationship, treating people like human beings. Set some goals in relationships, and intimate relationships. You have to help one another. You have to love one another. And what does it mean to love one another? It's like, okay, if you have a house, you have to look after the house together. You have to pool your income streams together. You have to budget together, which moves us into the financial realm. I got 10 minutes left here. So relationships are built on love. They're built on trust. They're built on helping each other. They're built on communicating with each other. You have to be able to get, I've learned that here. I'm in Mexico, that I can still communicate with people, even though they speak a whole total different language. They don't understand what I'm saying, and I don't understand what they're saying, but you can still build a relationship once you start smiling with your body language. It's like, it's okay, we'll figure this out. I can use my phone, I can use Google Translate, we'll write it down and I'll show it to you, or I'll just point, it'll come with me and we'll do what we need to do and we'll figure it out. Yeah. So communication, loving, trusting, helping, guiding, work ethic, all these things in relationships, whether you're on a team, whether you're an individual. And all these things are like spokes in a wheel that if you take them out, they all kind of help each other. They all kind of work together. So in your relationships, do things for others. Don't have expectations of other people. Expect from yourself the best. Expect from others the best, and you might just get the best. So build good, lifelong, lasting, loving relationships. The ego, you have to throw your ego out the window, because you're better than other people, or you're not better than you have to think that I'm the best, but I'm no better than anybody else. I don't know if that's going to make sense to you. So you have to have a healthy self-esteem without being too arrogant and cocky, and you exercise humility within the relationship. Communicate that, trust each other, love each other, and help each other, guide each other, direct each other. Write those down of things you can do within relationships. Build good relationships with your family. Get out of toxic relationships. If you have toxic relationships, get out of there, because they'll bring you down. They'll take you down with them. So be in good environments. Build good, healthy. If you want to know how to do that, again, we'll show you how to do that. Financially, we only got 8 minutes to go. Financially here, is that correct? 8 minutes. Yeah, we got 8 minutes to rock and roll here. So financially, money. So why is money important, or of course it's important, but people say that it's, again, what's your mindset about money? Do you want to have a lot of money, or it's like money is not important? But of course it's important. You need as much money as you can get to be able to live. And prices are going up, inflation's going up. So to buy your clothes, to buy your food, to buy your transportation, to buy your shelter, to buy your house, to buy gifts, to go on vacation, to give to people that are less fortunate. So the more money you have, the more good you can do, as long as the money does not define who you are as a person. If the money defines who you are as a person, that's why the love of money is the root of all evil. And that goes into the realm of, if you let money identify you, and you let money control you, and you let money guide you that you're going to be powerful and control people and have all this. And that's where the love of money is the root of all evil, because you're not using money to build lifestyles for people where everyone on the planet should have good food. Everyone on the planet should have good shelter. Everyone on the planet should have clean drinking water. But again, Jesus said we'll always have the poor among us. So give to them while you can, help them while you can, but the poor will always be among us here on planet Earth. In heaven, I don't think it'll be like that. But here, and that's where he also says, whatever you do unto the least of my brothers and sisters, that is what you do unto God. So if you treat people that are below you poorly, you're treating God poorly. So again, back to money. Money is good if it's used for the right things. So what are some goals around money? Save it, invest it in wise things. Don't waste it. Respect it, attract it, and earn it, and keep growing it. Invest in things that are going to grow in value. So if you earn $1, you can spend, let's say, 80 cents of that dollar, and then you can give away 10 cents to somebody, and then you can invest 10 cents that is going to grow into another 10 cents. So use money for you as an employee to grow itself over and over and over and over again. Just like what I want to do with this. I want to teach you how to be able to do this, how to be able to get in front of a camera and talk for an hour straight about setting goals in the 8 major areas of life so people can be helped, so people can be encouraged, so people can be motivated or inspired. It's like, if that idiot Coach Mike can do it, I should be able to do that, no problem. Yeah. Yeah, you can. No problem. So you just have to start. You might not be good at it. Well, people don't like doing things that they're not good at. So if you're not good at it, just start it. So financial, earn money. We're going to start with $1. This is the rule of thumb, but you can vary it however you want. If you earn $1, spend 80 cents. Invest 10 cents, and then tithe another 10 cents. Means give it to the poor, give it to the needy, give it to the less fortunate, give it to a worthwhile cause. So you're contributing to society with your money. You're saving the money, investing the money in other worthwhile causes. That's going to help you build your money up and grow. So for each $1, spend 80 cents. Save and invest 80 cents. That it's going to grow into something else, and then invest another 10 cents into the less fortunate that don't have. So we got 3 minutes left, and that's fine. There's a whole, again, these are just like quick little shots at all these things. Quick little shots at all these things for your finances. Yeah, you build your budget. Sit down and go through all your expenses, go through all your revenue streams, figure out if you're underwater. Are you spending more than you're bringing in? If so, you have to cut some stuff out of there. Cut to break. So you can do some break-even analysis, and then you want to have like a net income after that. So do a cash flow. You may or may not know what a cash flow statement is, your balance sheet, and your income statement. So your expenses, revenues, bottom line. Most people say their gross revenue. Well, I made $1 million last year. Well, how much did you spend? Did you spend 2 million to make 1 million? Then that's not good. If you spent 500 grand to make $1 million, that's pretty good. Yeah. So finances are very important. Finances are important because you need it to live, and that your mindset around money, it has to be good as well, or else it'll just leave you. Fear of loss. Okay, we got 2 minutes. Long-term goals and dreams. So these are the dumb goals. It's like, think big. The magic of thinking. So always think bigger than you can, because it may or may not happen. Why not? Why think small? So think big. Think big in everything. So if you're thinking small and you hit it, okay, great. But if you think huge and you still miss, then you're still close. So thinking big mentally, emotionally, physically, relationships. You could attract, but you have to become the person that would be in that dream that you would have. That's why you have to work on yourself to get there. So if you want to be a billionaire, or if you want to feed 1 million people, you have to become the person today. Do the things that the person who would be like that, do that thing today. Start today to do the thing, to think that way, to act that way, to make sure that you're creating the habits of the person that you would have to become today in the future, if that makes sense. So you have to use some visualization as to who you want to become in the future. We got 1 minute, wrap up. So I hope this helped. I'm sticking to the 60 minutes. Hope this helped. Again, we're a little bit here and there and whatnot, but we went over the mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, relational, financial, and goals and dreams. So recap, setting a goal is you want to achieve an end result. You're here and you want to get here. And all the things in between are the action items that you must take on a regular basis to get you to here. If you're taking actions that are not even close to you achieving your goal, then you're never going to achieve your goal. It's like, why can't I look like that? Why can't I have a body like that? Or why can't I have money like that? Or why can't I live like that? Because you're not doing anything that's associated with doing that. So you have to take the actions that are associated. Actions are the most important, or very important, because if you're not taking any actions that are associated with the goals that you set for yourself, then it's not going to happen. That's why you must know right from wrong. You must know what's going on. You must know where your mind's at. You must know the actions you're taking. And that's why this stuff's very important. I've been doing this for 20 plus years now. So I have an idea of how it works, but I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still as a child. I'm still a childlike, because I still have a lot there's so much you can know. There's so much to know. There's so much to know. But if you never start learning, you're going to stay the same. So that's it. I'm 1 minute over. If you have any questions, I thank you guys for allowing me to do this. There's going to be a lot more of this type of stuff to come. Goal setting workshop. If you choose to work with me, which if I'm allowed to, because I made a pitch. This is what this is all about. Yeah, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of free stuff and a whole bunch of bonuses. But if you really, 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 really want to get into this, you would want to work directly with me, because I got some sweet packages for you. If you want to level up, if you truly want to level up with a Life After Sport playbook, beginning with your end results in mind. So all the actions that you take on a daily, regular basis, everything that you do is intentional, because you want to be in a certain place, or you want to turn yourself into a certain human being, or you want to have a certain amount of money, or you want to have a certain relationship. Everything you do begins with the end result in mind, with the Life After Sport playbook. I'm Coach Mike. If you're interested, and even if you're not interested, this is for everybody, but it's not for everybody. How does that make sense? That's a contradictory, because only a few people will do this. And that's like the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. Everyone should, but not many will. There's enter in through the narrow gate, because wide is the way that leads to destruction. So consider this the narrow gate. Consider this the narrow gate. If you enter in, welcome. If you don't, I still love you no matter what. But I want the best for you. If I was your parent, if I was a good friend, or your parent, or whoever you would view me as being, I want the best for you no matter what. Jesus said, love your enemies. Even if you're my enemy, I want the best for you. I want the best for you, because probably no one has ever encouraged you or loved you before. So there you have it. That's it. Again, you can shoot me an email. It's right, Emdem Life Architects, mdm.canada.group@gmail.com. May God bless you. And I look forward to working with you. Send me an email and we can have a chat, see if you're a good fit to get into the deeper end of the pool. I'm Coach Mike. This is not the MDM show. It's not the MDM show, but the MDM show will be coming on. We'll be doing podcasts, the MDM show. I am 4 minutes over. Forgive me. My team here. Forgive me. My tech team. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Make it a great day, I should say. Make it an extraordinary day. Have an extraordinary day. Love you guys. May God bless you guys. And we'll see you on the next video or the next event. Love you guys. God bless you guys. Set some goals. Make some action plans. Stick to them. You're going to fail, but eventually you will succeed. Failure is part of the process. We're after progress, not perfection. Failure is a part of the process. Keep rocking, keep rolling, keep going. I'm encouraging you. Let's rock and roll. Let's go. Let's get going. Should have started this a long time ago, but we're starting now. See you guys. Have a good one. Adios, amigos.